Hello and welcome to episode 3 of my Zoom tutorial series. Now last time you'll remember that we looked at how to create a meeting. And so we looked at new meeting, which allows you to create a meeting on the spot. There's no scheduling involved. You just create the meeting, you send the invitation out and people can join. Alternatively, we can schedule a meeting. Okay, we talked about that last time about how you can use that to schedule a class, business meeting, whatever it might be. It can be single or it can be recurring, whatever you need it to be. As you can see here, we've got a meeting scheduled. It will be starting in 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, now if you have a look at my laptop here, I don't know how clear that's going to be for you. Maybe I switch windows to 3. Here we go. So if you look there, you can see please wait for the host to start the meeting. This is a recurring meeting and so on. Okay. Now the user should be testing their audio and doing all that kind of thing in readiness for starting the meeting. Okay, so let's click on Start. And our meeting should start up. I'll go full screen too. Okay, let's test the speaker and microphone. Yes, I can hear the ringtone. And I heard myself speak. So join with computer audio. Okay, join with computer audio. So now I'm in the meeting and I can speak. Okay, let's start the video. There we go. And we can see here we've got someone waiting to enter the room. Oh, it's Daffy Duck. We can admit him into the room. Okay. Alternatively, we could have clicked on the waiting room initially and then clicked admit there. Okay, so Daffy Duck is joining the meeting. At the moment, his camera is off. Let's turn on Daffy Duck's camera, shall we? There we go. So there we go. That's the view on Daffy Duck's laptop. So we can look at each other and we can talk to each other and everything else. Obviously the audio, I'm going to leave the audio off for the sake of this meeting because I do not want all the feedback. Let's change our view. We can change to gallery view, speaker view. The person who's speaking will be prominent on the screen. Okay, so you've got a few different views there that you can use to illustrate what you're after. Now let's have a look at, well, firstly I'm going to turn the other webcam off for now. Okay. So let's look down the bottom, shall we? Let's get rid of these pop-ups. Okay, so we've got this bar at the bottom here. Okay, I can stop my own video if I want to. Okay, start it again if I need to for any reason. Maybe I just wanted to sneeze. Okay, I've got my webcam options here. I can go choose a virtual background if I want to. Now that's an interesting one. What I can do is, for example, okay, I want to be sitting in outer space. Okay, now I've got a nice solid background behind me for most of the camera's view. It's actually just a refrigerator box. That's all, just a refrigerator box. Let me turn it off again. Yeah, background, just a refrigerator box. That's all it is. But yeah, you can select background images if you've got a nice solid background. Beware though that if your hair color, your skin color, or your shirt color, whatever it might be, if it's close to the color of the background, you might find that being eliminated as well. I've seen some Zooms sessions where half of a person's head got chopped out and replaced with a background. And we've got the Aurora Borealis there. Okay, now why is this good? I mean, obviously you can use all sorts of fancy stuff. I could use my logo. I could use all sorts of different things as the background. You know, I live in Phuket, so this is quite an appropriate background. Okay, but guess what? It's not familiar. What do I mean by that? Okay, let's imagine this Zoom session is for your grade 2 class, or P2 as we call it here in Thailand. Okay. Okay, when your students are sitting in the classroom, they're not seeing waves and palm trees blowing in the background. They're seeing the whiteboard, they're seeing the bookshelves, they're seeing the posters on the wall. So it might be a good idea, just so that they're in a familiar environment, to actually have a photo of your classroom, that front wall, as your backdrop, so that they actually feel like they're in class. And one other thing you can do in your video settings, okay, is down here, touch up my appearance. That can just make sure that you look a little bit tidier or cleaner, your face, you know, on the screen. It's a little bit like studio makeup, okay? You might want to switch on that, turn off my video when joining a meeting. That way your video does not automatically switch on, okay? So I'm going to leave that switched on. Some advanced settings you can go through as well. There's a whole bunch of settings here. You can, when you're in chat, when you're talking with someone, let's bring up chat, okay? Accessibility. So some text there. We can adjust the size of how that will all appear, okay? In closed captions and chat display down here, okay? So that might be good if you're like me, you need reading glasses for some things, but maybe you don't want to have them on all the time. You can increase your own text so that you can read it without having to wear your glasses, okay? In fact, I'm going to leave my glasses off now. So there's a few more settings there. There's a whole bunch of settings. Recording, making sure that you can record the video so you can upload it later on. You can have separate audio track if you like. We already looked at the virtual background. There's some chat settings you can go through here. Sharing the screen. Maximize Zoom window when a participant shares the screen. Might be a good idea or not, depending on your needs. Side-by-side mode. You can have theirs next to yours, that kind of thing. And various other settings there. I recommend you actually just take the time, look at each one, go through them, play with them, see what they do. I mean, I can tell you, but unless you actually go and do it yourself, you're not really going to really understand it all, I think. So I'm not going to go through too much of this. I think you should just go through and go and practice using the settings yourself. And of course, you can edit your profile here. That'll actually open up a web page. Now, next time we're going to look at sharing screen. Okay, so you've got all these different options here for sharing. We'll look at that next time. But I will look at this one right now, reactions. So if someone says something you like, you can give the thumbs up, and that will show up on your webcam thumbnail that participants will see. And you can encourage your students to use these reactions. Maybe instead of them all talking at once, which might create a bit of white noise, as they call it, okay, it might not be, might not be able to pick out individual people so much. Maybe instead of doing that, you can have them give a thumbs up if they want to say yes to something or answer a question. Then you can turn on their audio, they can answer the question. That's something that my instructors, when I was studying at university online, they did. They would have everybody's audio off. If you want to answer a question, you'll put your hand up, and by clicking on an icon, so for the sake of Zoom, that would be the thumbs up. Okay, so you put your hand up, and then you can turn on that student's audio or that participant's audio, and they can answer a question or say something. If they've got a question they need to ask you while you're teaching them, they can give you the thumbs up or some other thing that you agree on, okay? Here we go, we've got clapping hands as well for applauding people as well. Over in the chat, you can send files, okay? You can send publicly and privately. Publicly, there's a few settings there. You can choose who you want to send to, okay? So it can be a private message as well. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll be back next time to discuss screen sharing. Thank you. Bye.